Hello students. So last class I discussed about derivation for the gradient descent rule, and we have seen the detailed derivation of gradient descent rule. Also I discussed about gradient descent algorithm. For that I discussed the different types of gradient descent algorithm with the inputs as a training examples and the value of n. Right. So in today's class, I am going to discuss the next important concept, that is stochastic approximation to gradient descent. As you know, the gradient descent is an important paradigm for learning. So it is a strategy for searching through a large or the infinite hypothesis space that can be applied whenever the hypothesis space contain a continuous parameterized hypothesis. For example, weights in a linear unit. So this example I have discussed, and also it can be applied when the error can be differentiated with respect to these hypothesis parameters. Here the key practical difficulties in applying the gradient descent are: the first difficulty is converging to a local minimum that can sometimes be quite slow, and second difficulty is that if there are multiple local minima in the error space, then there is no guarantee that the procedure will find a global minimum. So these are the two practical challenges or the practical difficulties in applying the gradient descent. So one common variation on the gradient descent which is intended to alleviate these difficulties is called as incremental gradient descent. So this is what we can say, one variation on the gradient descent to overcome the difficulties of applying the gradient descent. So this variation on the gradient descent is termed as incremental gradient descent, or alternatively it is known as a stochastic gradient descent. Here the gradient descent training rule, which is presented in one of the previous equation, that computes the weight updates after summing over all the training examples in capital D. So D, as you know, it is set up the training examples, right? So the idea behind a stochastic gradient descent is to approximate this gradient descent for each individual examples. So to modify this training rule is like training rule which is given in one of the previous equation. So except that as we iterate through each training example, so that we can update the weight according to delta wi is equal to n of t minus o into xi. So in this way we are updating the weight. Here small t, small o and xi are the target value unit output and the ith input for the training example. So small t is nothing but the target value, small o is nothing but the unit output, whereas the xi is nothing but ith input for the training example. Now to modify the gradient descent algorithm and to implement this stochastic approximation, so it is very simple. Here we are just deleting and replacing with a different equation. For example, as you can see here, so this is what the previous algorithm that I have discussed, that is a gradient descent algorithm for the training a linear unit. Here we can see two steps here. One step is that is the last step, that is the wi is equal to wi plus delta w, so that we are replacing. And one more step is this one, that is the delta wi is equal to delta wi plus n of t minus o. So this is also we are replacing. So actually This is what our reference here, that is what the original gradient descent algorithm, and we are modifying to implement a stochastic approximation to gradient descent. So how we are modifying this? So as a modification here, we are replacing this particular equation with a different equation, then we are deleting this last equation, so that with this modification we can able to implement the stochastic approximation to the gradient descent. So the modified algorithm is shown here. As you can see here, if you compare this algorithm with the original gradient descent algorithm, so in this modified algorithm, so this equation, that is delta wi is equal to delta wi plus n of t minus o into xi, so this is replaced like this, that is a wi is equal to wi plus n of t minus o xi. Then the last equation, that is completely removed here. So this is what the modified gradient descent algorithm to implement this stochastic approximation to gradient descent, that is just to overcome these difficulties of applying the gradient descent algorithm, right? Here one way to view this stochastic gradient descent is to consider a distinct error function, that is ed of w vector, which is defined for each individual training example small d, and it follows this equation, that is a ed of w vector is equal to 1 by 2 into td minus od square. Here, as you know, td is nothing but the target value, and od is nothing but the unit output value for the training example small d. Here, the stochastic gradient descent iterates over the training example small d in capital D. So capital D is the set of all training examples. So stochastic gradient descent iterates over the training examples in a set D at each iteration, altering the weights according to the gradient with respect to ed of w vector. Then the sequence of these weight updates. So when it is iterated over all the training examples, it provides a reasonable approximation to descending the gradient with respect to our original error function, that is the e of w vector. Now by making the value of n, so n is nothing but the gradient descent step size, right? So by making the value of n sufficiently small, and the stochastic gradient descent can be made to approximate the true gradient descent arbitrarily very closer. Now let us see what are the key differences between the standard gradient descent and the stochastic gradient descent. Here I have pointed out some of the key differences between the standard gradient descent and the stochastic gradient descent. Standard gradient descent is nothing but the original gradient descent, and stochastic gradient descent has achieved after modifying the original gradient descent. Now let us see what are the differences between these two. First one is, in standard gradient descent, the error is summed over all the examples before updating the weights, whereas in stochastic gradient descent, the weights are updated upon examining each training example. The second difference is that summing over the multiple examples in standard gradient descent, it requires more computation per weight update step, and on the other hand, because it uses the true gradient, so the standard gradient descent is oftenly used with a larger step size per weight update than stochastic gradient descent. The third difference is, in the cases where there are multiple local minima with respect to the stochastic gradient descent, so that can sometimes avoid falling into these local minima because it uses the various uh, delta ed of w vector rather than delta e of w vector to guide its search. So here both the stochastic and the standard gradient descent methods are commonly used in practice. Now as you know, the training rule in the previous equation in the sense this particular equation. So the training rule in this particular equation is known as the delta rule, or sometimes it is also called as LMS, that is the least mean square rule, and sometimes it is also known as the Adeline rule or Woodrow-Hope rule. Here you can notice that the delta rule in this equation is similar to the perceptron training rule. In fact, the two expressions appear to be identical here. That is the expression for perceptron training rule and the perceptron for delta rule. So both are appear to be identical. However, the rules are different because in the delta rule, small o refers to linear unit output, and it is given as O of x vector is equal to W vector into x vector. That is in case of delta rule. Whereas for the perceptron rule, small o refers to the threshold output, and it is given as O of x vector is equal to SGN of W vector into x vector. Means even though both the delta rule and perceptron training rule appears to be same, but the difference between these two is in terms of small o. So in delta rule, small o represent a linear unit output with some equation, whereas in perceptron rule, small o represent a threshold output with some equation. Although we have presented the delta rule as a method for learning the weights for the unthreshold linear units, but it can easily be used to train the threshold perceptron units as well. Suppose that small o is equal to W vector into x vector as per the delta rule. So this is the unthresholded linear unit output as above, and O dash is equal to Hgn of W vector into x vector is the result of thresholding O in the perceptron rule. Now if you wish to train a perceptron to fit the training examples with the target value of plus or minus 1 for O dash, then we can use this same target values and the examples to train a small o instead, and using the delta rule. So clearly, if the unthresholded output small o can be trained to fit these values perfectly, then the threshold output O dash will fit them as well, because in this case Hgn of 1 is equal to 1 and Hgn of minus 1 equal to minus 1. So clearly we can say that if the unthresholded output O can be trained to fit these values perfectly, then the threshold output O dash will fit them as well. Even when the target values cannot fit perfectly, then the thresholded O dash value will correctly fit the plus or minus 1 target value, and whenever the linear unit output O has the correct sign. And you can also notice that, however, that while this procedure will learn a weight that will minimize the error in the linear unit output O, and these weights will not necessarily minimize the number of training examples which are misclassified by the thresholded output O dash. So this is all about the stochastic approximation to the gradient descent, which is nothing but the gradient descent algorithm, that is the standard gradient descent algorithm with some minor modifications to implement this stochastic approximation to gradient descent. So this is about today's discussion, and in the next class I am going to discuss multi-layer networks and the backpropagation algorithm. So those concepts are very important. Thank you.